Welcome back to Soundwaves from the Sea. It is Michael and I. Owen has left us to go be a duck somewhere. No, I'm kidding. Schedules are crazy. We would have recorded this yesterday, but I quite literally got home and went honk shoe while Mike was waiting for me.
I sit
Uh,
by the computer like this, just patiently waiting. I wonder when Charles will
where is
email
he?
me.
Where? Hello? Is anyone there?
Friend.
Uh, got home and I think I laid down at like 2. I was like, I've got like 10 minutes. I can lay down. Woke up, it was midnight.
Zonk.
I said, huh, hmm, I think he's not there anymore. So but yeah, this will, be out by the time that the Sounders are in the lovely Leagues Cup. Ooh.
Yay.
An another competition to throw into the scrap heap. Um I say that as like I could go on my wall over there and find like the 8 credentials from last year's Leagues Cup because it's like every game. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was another competition that ended in a loss to LAFC. Let me calm down. No, I won't actually because Vancouver signed Thomas Muller. What the fuck?
That is insane.
Uh,
Did you see his salary numbers, by the way? What he
uh-uh.
expected to get? So he's expected to get I think it's roughly like 600K this year for the rest of the season. And then next year jumps up to anywhere between 6.6 million to 7.5.
What the fuck?
So they're pulling a Rodrigo de Paul type deal.
Ah, yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, that and the LAFC and Hungmin Son rumors that seem to keep flying around. So anyway, this is a Sounders show. We'll stick to the Sounders. Um, Mike, I would have felt a lot better about this week's episode if how do you say this gentleman's name? Miranchuk? Uh,
Miranchuk,
if his absolute screamer of a goal in the 90
dude,
plus
that was a
9 minute
banger.
did not just rip through like I have some issue putting that on Andy Thomas. Um, but yeah, if that didn't rip through and equalize, because it's like, oh hey, Osaze scores, gets his first MLS goal. Um, I think actually one of the questions in the post match was your first game. I was like, this is not his first game.
Yikes.
Um, yeah. Yeah. Well, it was funny too watching that because I don't know, I think you saw that, but it was like he was hugging Brian and Brian's like, get the fuck off me. Like
Yeah, he was gonna be like,
there's still
Everybody
time
get
on the
back on the
clock.
pitch. Go, go, go.
Yeah. And well, it's funny because hearing Brian's explanation, because someone asked like if he got an explanation for why it was like +9, because the original time was +8, and it was like, well, it was because we were celebrating so much. I'm like, well, that's kind of funny how that bites you in the ass, isn't it? Um, I don't know if that completely stops it, right? But yeah, no, Seattle goes into Atlanta, an Atlanta team that,
Straight Dookie.
yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. And this match just didn't start out well. This weird, unfortunate own goal that goes off of Yamar in the 7th minute just immediately puts you at a disadvantage, right? But then right out of in the first half as a whole, I think Mike, you and I texted about it. Oh, it might have been in there, but it was just like I think you put it really well. It was like they were playing as if they didn't know each other. Uh,
Yeah, this is like our first team, and nothing was working. Nothing made sense.
Bizarre. Um, but then coming out of half in the 54th minute, Pedro de La Vega and his short hair. Maybe it's the short hair. It helps with the aerodynamic because he was really running
Possibly.
on his goal. Breaks through and rips a nice one to level it. And then, as I kind of alluded to in the 90 plus 5 minute, Osaze de Rosario, nice ball by Nuhu. Nice header by Osaze. Uses big frame, get in front there. Brad goes on, sorry to a fellow bald, but gets it right through. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Like they're gonna steal one. Like this is wonderful. I don't know the last time like the Sounders stole. I say that, but you could argue maybe the San Jose match. Um, and then this absolute screamer of a goal in the 90 plus 9 minute. And it's just kind of like it even seemed like once the final whistle was blown, Atlanta was just like disgusted with it too. They're like, ah.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a single player on the field that was happy.
So yeah, no, that's what it looked like. Seeing the match end on the broadcast. Um, yeah, Mike, I don't know about you. This one kind of left a gross taste in my mouth from the own goal in the seventh minute. I'm just very happy with Pedro and scoring again. And the nice Osaze to get his first career goal in MLS, but just how the own goal happened and the ugly first half, and then giving up that screamer just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially
Mhm.
when, it's not like you're super far back, excuse me, sorry, in the West. Like the West is
It's still open.
it's still open. Like you could have made, oh my God, you could have made several advances up. You could be in a better position. It's up to you ultimately. That being said, I think in Mike's full-time notes, again, I look at these things. I look at these things.
I appreciate
They're
it.
undefeated in six. It's good, but also could be better.
Yeah,
Yeah, how do you feel coming out of the Atlanta match?
a little sad because like me, we just talked about this. The team looked so good, or didn't look so good. They looked better coming out of the Club World Cup in these past 5 games leading up to this, even with a couple like kind of stinkers in between. But they still looked like a team in certain halves. But this game as a whole, it's you could tell everyone was just like, exhausted, and no one could do anything right. Passes were going astray. People weren't tracking their men. There was massive gaps in the midfield. There's just nothing was clicking. I was upset at the end of the game. I'm happy we didn't lose, but still leaves a bad taste in the mouth for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world for sure. You'll take the undefeated in six. Um, I moved maybe the goalposts a little bit, but I think what in five of the six matches you've played post World Cup, you've scored two or more. Uh, I'll take that. I think the
Hmm
one exception was the Columbus match, the Charlie Brown match.
Okay.
So it's not all bad, but I get so I always whatever sport we're covering, I always get so hung up on the what ifs and the missed opportunities, which so many people will, right? That's not anything groundbreaking that's being done, but I don't know, yeah, especially with the West the way it is this year, and especially um having already done. It's not like these are teams just running away with it and you haven't seen them yet. No, you've seen Minnesota, you've seen Vancouver, who again is getting better. Um, just could I forgot that the Vancouver was the 9-man match. So
Hmm.
yeah, no, I mean, especially against a club like that, now you go into this another match, more competitions, more potential worry for getting your players banged up and testing your depth even more. I'll probably get it out, but I'm testing myself. And Lord knows I need to do that more. Um, and I'm ranking Seattle's professional teams, and like who has the closest proximity to a championship, right? And of the four that are active, and the Mariners, the Storm, the Sounders, and the Rain, I put the Sounders second behind the Storm. I thought it was either, I feel like I could
Go
flip,
either one, yeah.
honestly, because like I know Owen and I talked about it. I'm sure you've mentioned it on here, but they do have some solid depth. I mean, we sit here and have talked at times about the wingers and who could start there. Um, it's not nice to not great that it happened, but the fact that they were able to go down to one healthy center back, and
And
not
still
look
pull
like,
out performances like that. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I've heard a few people talk about this being one of the deeper 26 that they've seen. Um, and I knew that was going to happen with the amount of competitions that they were in. An ideal. I would not like to keep testing that.
hmm.
I wouldn't like to keep putting my hands near the fire. But I you said it and I agreed with it. I think an episode ago, maybe. Yeah, I think it was last episode. But they're not winning MLS Cup in the sloppy way that they're. playing right now, right? The form that they're in. Yes, like the production, I've been happy with the production goal wise, but just some of the mistakes. There's another mistake in this match. Like,
Hmm.
again, that own goal was kind of weird. Um,
And
but
just the
giving
way
up,
Yamar's positioning was just awkward. The way he moved his chest inside instead of like out like any other defender
yeah.
would. It was a little odd, but again, yeah, I just want to double down on that. Like, yes, the Sounders are going to be competitive in every tournament they're in, whether it's MLS Cup, Leagues Cup, the league itself. We're going to climb up the table, but I just don't think this team is MLS Cup win favorites at all. I don't think they're anywhere close. I think there are too many good teams in the East. They have better.
Mhm.
We have now four or five better teams in the West, and they're all getting stronger in this transfer window. I'm happy with where we're at, but I do want to see a push for more, whether it's this season
I think that's
or
fair.
next.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it's not like unless I'm totally blanking, it's not like next offseason you're gonna lose a ton, I don't think. Um so, I mean they're still in their championship window. I think it was interesting. There was a quote from Brian the other day at training where he was asked about the transfer window and he basically alluded to not wanting to focus on a short-term solution, rather looking to something that can help them through the future. And I understand that. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I do think like they like given the talent to me, they've got a better chance than the Rain and the Mariners just because of I think they've got a more complete roster than the Mariners. Uh, so anyway, we'll focus on the Sounders. I think Mike and I were confused. We might have talked about this last week, but yeah, it's very funny and very odd that João Paulo like this is fascinating. Um, I don't remember. I was doing this. I was talking to somebody else, and they were like, "Don't tell me that they went to go into surgery and they found out that it's not actually torn." And I'm pretty sure that's what actually happened.
Oh, yeah,
Um, how it?
I would love
Um,
that happen with my knee, to be honest. If I have to get surgery, like, oh, actually, just kidding, you're okay.
yeah, you come out of it. Well, wait, did they? I don't know. How does that go? Do they put you under?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But you come up, they're like, actually, no tear. Like we just went in there and we played around a little bit. Um, uh, so yeah, JP went down to get surgery for what was believed to be an ACL tear. I remember seeing that like before he went down, he was actually starting to do his rehab, which is a funny thing they say. Because it feels like, in the world of sports, ACL tear, it's like you've been banished. Like you have to go in the corner. We're not going to hear from you for a year. Um, but when he went down to orthopedic surgeon Dr. Bert R. Mandelbaum, it was
What a
discovered
name.
that his I was looking at it, I was like, how do I uh that his ACL was intact. So he just needs a meniscus cleanup and they'll have him back I think 6 to 8 weeks maybe from the date of the injury is what Brian said after the training the other day. Um it's interesting.
So should have him
I
back in
do
playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing is I think we did talk about it a little bit because I remember having dialogue like, okay, what's he gonna do? Like I think you might have said it or Owen did, but he might be a little bit slower now after something like this, or at least coming out of it, right? It's not the hate on JP. Don't get me wrong. JP has done wonderful things for the Sounders, has been big, but it's undeniable that his role has been vastly reduced with the pivot that the Sounders have and Christian and Obed and what Albert Rusnak's doing. Like, where's the spot?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to spell Christian and Obed more, considering how at times we've seen them both gassed. Um, but yeah, I don't know what. First of all, do you have anything on the fact that they found out that this was a better situation than initially thought? But that and I guess it is a fair point. They will need to rotate at times, right? So I don't know what is JP's role to you, or what would you? I guess what you like to see. from JP in his role, when they get him back from health, because obviously you're not rushing him back, right?
Mhm. And honestly, it feels like a Christmas miracle, like a Christmas in the summer type
Yep.
deal. Like it's nice to have him back much sooner. I feel like Christian and Obed have already played 2,300 minutes this season, which is absolutely
Christ.
wild. And obviously, Schmetz doesn't trust Danny Leva to deputy there.
Yeah,
He
which is
doesn't trust it.
interesting.
He might trust Snyder Brunell, new Sounders signing from Tacoma Defiance in that role. But I feel like the moment JP is back and quote unquote 90 minutes or however long old man JP can go, I think he should start a few games just to give these guys a rest. Last thing we need is going into playoffs and having our two best midfielders, or one if we lose Obed in the transfer window, injured as we get make a playoff push.
It's a good point. Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem to be any sort of certainty with Obed. I mean, I know there was a reporting that his option had been exercised, but obviously that doesn't even necessarily negate anything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so um, yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to the depth conversation, right? It is interesting your point with Danny Leva because I know during the beginning of the year, God damn it, if I remember correctly, he was getting some opportunity, some decent
Yeah, he was
opportunity.
getting
I
some
think I
good
was
minutes and he looked good too. Like I liked having Danny Lave on the field. I was like, oh, he's at another level this season. And now it's we hardly see
back
him
to
or
the
we get him
corner.
get subbed at the 10.
It's I think that's something that stuck with me, and maybe it's like something I need to move on from. But I'll never remember forget actually after the 22 season, I think after it was a draw with San Jose, Schmetzer in the post-match presser was like, I need to play the kids more. I was like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. And I
Hmm.
just so like again, that was 3 years ago now. But I was just like, okay, go ahead. And it's like Danny Leva. I know he's not like a child anymore, but he's one of the younger players, and he hasn't got a ton of burn. So, yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how that all works out. Um, because yeah, I mean, ideally you do have with the way that those two and Christian and Obed have played, you want them healthy, you want them good to go for, ultimately your biggest goal, which is an MLS Cup, right? Um, so hopefully you're able to spell them. And I know Brian, I think today said that they're going to put out like a legitimate lineup for tomorrow against Cruz Azul.
Hmm.
Cruz Azul.
As
Oh,
strong as possible is what his exact words.
yeah. So, well, now as possible. So, what does that mean? Are you gonna have Paul Rothrock go out there and hit someone with his club? No, I'm kidding. We'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, I also just wonder how much they might finagle with things and because I don't imagine I highly doubt we're gonna see like the exact same thing or even like really similar lineups throughout the course of it, right?
Yeah.
So I also am bothered by the fact that the Tijuana match is at 8 o'clock.
Ew, on a
It'll be
Wednesday?
Yeah, on a
That's actually
Wednesday.
disgusting.
We'll probably actually start at like 8:14 or something. Okay.
That's it's so specific. 8:14 p.m.
Oh, no, what was I don't know. Hopefully I don't get shot by like Big Leagues Cup, but like the listed time for tomorrow's match is 7:30. But like even in I'm sure you saw. Oh wait, will you be there tomorrow?
I will not be.
Oh, I don't know if you saw
I
it,
got
but
the email, yeah.
it's like real match time 7:40. I'm like, stop it. I
Just give
get
us the
it.
exact time, please.
I know why they're doing it, but anyway, let's talk about Snyder Brunell. Interesting. I was wondering when this was going to happen. I think Mike and I joked about this before we started, but it was like, oh, another child from the Sounders factory that they've pumped out, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the academy. Like, obviously, the Sounders are one of the strongest teams when it comes to their academy and how they produce, right? Um, but I was just kind of wondering on that. So, officially yesterday, Tuesday the 29th, Snyder Brunel signed a homegrown contract, guarantees him through 28 with an option through 29. 18-year-old who's spent last 3 years with Tacoma Defiance. Um, he like many of the white boys in the Sounders Academy. Um, spent a good he's had an impressive run. In addition, he's had all these obviously appearances with the Defiance. Uh, I know when they do the Open Cup, they bring in some of the kids, right? But it's always interesting. He's had a few runs as captain with the Defiance. One of the photos I was looking for in the Sounders like photo lab, like had him with the C. And I was like, is this the right
Ooh,
guy? Like he's
are
got
we sure?
the same number, and it's the same looking kind of white boy.
I think
Uh,
that the craziest thing about this white boy is that he's getting consistent minutes with the U.S. youth national team.
yes, yeah. Um, Most recently, I think U18s, UEFA. Oh God, I forgot some of the wild names the international cups can have. The UEFA Friendship Cup, brother. What are we
Friendship.
doing? We are the world. We are the children. Like fuck off. Uh, Played in all four games of the Friendship Cup. God, that is crazy. Um, yeah, interesting. Obviously that's good to see. Maybe one day we'll see another Sounders player with the U.S. men's national team.
One
Hashtag
day.
Danny Musovsky. Uh,
Yes.
um, but no, it's cool. I mean, it's interesting to see how some of the players, from the academy, from the Defiance, have been signed, and have played matches. We just talked about Osaze de Rosario, right? We've both been proponents of Kalani Kosrienzi, who was on the field for the the Osaze goal.
Just need to
Travian
put that out
Souza,
there.
yeah, well, in one of the photos again from that, I think the one I used in our final score graphic, it's Osaze, but the guy that's in focus is Kalani and it's his back. I'm like, oh, nice. Cool. How can I sneak him in? Um, and then Travian Souza was signed from the Defiance over the offseason, but I don't think he's gotten any burn.
No. He's made a couple
Um,
bench appearances, but like he hasn't actually made MLS debut yet.
yeah. So yeah, you mentioned Snyder getting some of the burn with the international club. What do you know about the kid? What do you I guess it's another midfielder. I mean, is it because I know I could be getting it wrong. I'm not saying verbatim, but I know with some of the academy players when they, turn in good shifts and shows a certain level of promise, uh, they get rewarded essentially with the first team contract, right? Like different scenario with Kalani, but
Mhm.
he scores against what LAFC, and they're like, you know what, good job,
Here, take
son.
it. Here's your money.
Here you go, boy. Don't spend it all in one place. Yeah, I don't know. What do you envision here with Snyder? Because again, we've talked about the midfield.
Yeah.
I'm again, I know they'll have to rotate, but it doesn't seem like there's a clear avenue currently for any significant minutes, right?
Mhm. I don't admittedly I don't know much about the player. I don't watch much. I should, but I don't watch that much Defiance. I will be honest. But from what I know about the kid, I know that Schmetz brought him to Spain with the first team to do training because he liked what he saw in during last season, what he's seen in Defiance training. Like Schmetz rates this kid really highly, and
Mm,
so I feel like he's gonna get a lot of minutes because of how much Schmetz likes his ability to not only get out the pitch but also like kind of getting stuck into tackles. From what I've read and what I've seen other people say, he is more of like a classic eight, kind of like in the same frame as
mm,
Obed. But from what I see, kid's a little more bulkier than Obed. So I think
huh,
I can see him getting significant minutes, especially with the other two playing, like I said, 2,300 minutes this season. I can see him getting like 60 or getting like 40 minutes off the bench here and there, or
hmm.
just give some rest in a couple starts. I think he'll
Yeah, and
be a true like rotation piece for sure.
especially with the JP coming off of the injury, even whenever they do get him, and which is a while from now, again, 6 to 8 weeks. Like obviously, that's better than being broken for the season. But yeah, no, I just I think that's smart, and I do think the Sounders and Brian will recognize that. Hey, we would like to keep our two guys fresh here. I just wonder when we start to see that. When
I hope sooner rather than later at this
ideally,
rate.
I mean, with what does the schedule look like? I don't think it gets too packed.
Oh
Well,
no, it's definitely packed. 6 game or 3 games the next 6 days, and then 4 days after the Tijuana game, we have a game against LA Galaxy if the Thunders get out of the groups, which ideally they do. And then right off the bat, Minnesota, KC, Salt Lake, Galaxy again,
uh,
Miami in September, like
yeah.
is
Okay.
ramping up.
Um, why are we going to New York to end the season? God damn it. Okay. Sorry. Uh, yeah, never mind. So yeah, it should be soon then, because I mean the last thing you want to do is break one of these guys before we get to before we get to the postseason.
To all this, yeah.
Um, speaking of breaking, um, Paul
Nice.
Rothrock suffered an injury during a fall in training. Uh, I think this was last week. Yeah, last
Yeah, it was
week.
last week, yeah.
Um, and of course, it was just one of those trainings where Brian wasn't speaking after it. So I was like, oh, well, we'll see. Maybe. I don't know.
Wonder what happened here.
Pretty much. It's tough how that goes. I mean, we can only do so much sometimes. Um, I should get the exact wording. Um, I can actually, I don't know why I say that, like as if I do not get the emails. But Paul Rothrock, yeah, he broke one of his hands during a tough fall. Paul Rothrock, I go into my email. Um, Here we go. Underwent successful surgery to repair a fractured third metacarpal bone in his right hand. Was performed. I always like to when we get the exact doctor. I'm like, thanks. You want me to go and interview the doctor? How
Yes.
was Paul Rothrock during surgery? Like,
Was he a
uh,
sleepy boy or did he wake up?
did he fight? Did he bite? Did he get a lollipop after the surgery was completed? Dr. William Wagner at the Seattle Hand Surgery Group in Seattle. Wow.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Uh,
Good for us.
Recovery is not expect. Yeah, I mean, with a soccer player and it's a hand injury, I don't know how much. I don't know how much would that really impact you. I was never a good player.
It
I
doesn't
mean,
really
I was
affect you all that much, to be honest. I
yeah,
mean,
like
we saw last season with Cody Baker. He had a broken hand too, or a broken wrist, and he's still
oh
playing.
yes, yeah, the insanity run of Cody Baker. I'll never forget you. Another white boy that they see. Oh my god. Um, it's funny they get a lot of the white boys in like the defense and the midfield, but not so much up top.
Interesting.
Paul, Jordan, whatever. Um, so yeah, I think, oh yeah, Mike brought it up. You might brought it up earlier. He's available tomorrow.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
he had a metal
But will he
pin
start though?
inserted. I don't think so. I don't think he should. No, no, I don't think he should. Not with Pedro. If they would want to rotate, because you have to be smart. You have to be smart, right? You can't again, like I even said it. I don't know why I'm doubting it. You can't run the same guys out there each time. It will be fun. You'll be. I'm sure we have to get Georgie minutes soon, right?
Who knows at this point?
I
Has he? I don't
you
think has he
can't.
gotten any minutes since Club World Cup?
Foot mob, please save me because I think I'm reference. See, it's funny when I can remember things. I think last episode you said it. He's kind of been in the doghouse. Um,
That's what it feels like, at least. Obviously, there's no like confirmation, no insider stuff. I'm not Nico Moreno, the GOAT, but like,
nothing Nothing since PSG. He got the 18 minutes against PSG. He played with the Defiance on July 3rd against I hate the town for 62 minutes. Got an assist,
there we
but
go.
has not played in
For either?
any of the Sounders matches since
Oh,
the Atletico match. 11 minutes against Atletico Madrid, 18 minutes against Paris Saint-Germain, and then nothing.
it's just wild to me because before he was like the guy to come off the bench and like bring a little energy into the game, and now it's like, oh, Donde está Georgie?
Milk carton Georgie. Have you seen this man? I follow him on TikTok. He posts cool TikToks.
Oh, there we
Uh,
go.
um, at least with Paul, Brian said it was just pain tolerance. Yeah, I mean, it is just interesting with Paul. I mean, he's really taken such a hold of his. I won't fall asleep on you, Mike. I promise. Um, he's started 19 of the 23 MLS matches. I think he's around 1,500 minutes. Um, but I mean, with Pedro breaking out the way that he has, and the ability that and the money you're paying him, you can't. I'm
Kind of have
sorry,
you can
buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, you just there is a pecking order in that regard. Um, I guess some of the other stuff. Steph Fry started to slowly get back into training. He has to go through concussion protocol. Wow, it is weird to kind of mention concussion protocol to me in MLS because I'm so used to hearing that in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Um, oh, okay, that's not relevant. Yeah, no, I guess that's kind of it before we get into Leagues Cup. Before we talk about that, who, I mean, we kind of talked about the depth, right? And the idea that, excuse me, goddamn, they probably will rotate a decent bit. Who do you think has the most gain from the potential opportunities that can arise from these matches? Is it Georgie, who has been in the
Hmm.
doghouse and has not touched the field since PSG for the Sounders, of course? Um, I don't know. Maybe is it a Danny Leva or a Snyder Brunell who can help spell your midfield, and get some run. I don't know. What do you? Who? If I had to like force you to make a decision of who could gain the most from, yeah, buddy. All right.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Hit the walking boot. I'm gonna hit your foot with a hammer again. Again. Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think stands with has the most to gain, from the more than likely rotation that there will be here?
I think for sure Snyder Brunell, new
Hmm.
signing. He plays the eight and slash the six, which we desperately need some rotation in. I think he'll benefit from that. I think Danny Label will see some time at both the 10 and as one of the two eights.
Hmm.
So he's versatile enough and he can play both positions decent enough where he can like give rest to the guys who need it. And then honestly, I think it's gonna be Ryan Kent. So, I mean, obviously, like all season before, I was praising Ryan Kent before Club World Cup, and then he something has changed in his seems like I don't know if it's the attitude or the way he's being asked to play, but definitely things have been a little downhill since he came to the team. I think Leagues Cup is going to be a good opportunity for him to kind of gain that confidence back.
Mm.
And I think we'll see him more on the right, and Pedro's going to be cooking on the left. I don't
That
think we're
could be
going to see
fun.
Georgie.
That could be really. Don't think we're gonna see him
I don't think so.
at all.
I mean, we'll probably get like some like bench minutes, but I don't think he's going to get a single start
No,
in this
yeah,
Leagues
that
Cup
makes
run.
sense. Yeah, that's a good shout, especially bringing up Ryan. That's the thing. Maybe this is bad, considering how much I was a fan of him when he started to come in. I kind of forgot about Ryan Kent. I mean, with I need to have because of how often I reference the Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore with Woody. I should just have.
A
I'm
Woody
not
doll.
gonna say
I'll
that.
send one to you.
Yeah. Well, Jesus. Um, but yeah, I mean, with how Pedro's been playing, Jesus has been able to produce pretty decently in terms of contribution as a whole, goal wise with his assists. I'm just like, okay, leave it as it is until either of those guys gives you a reason not to leave it as it is. And even at that point, yeah, that's something I've watched with Ryan Kent. He just seems more passive,
Mhm.
um, in the last run, and I'm like, why? You
Yeah, well,
have
like what
more
switched?
yeah, what happened? Because I used when I don't remember which episode this was. Well, we were talking about wingers, I know that, but I get par for the
What's new?
course with this show. Yeah. I was like, you go for it must have been going into the Club World Cup. I was like, you go with your big dogs, and Ryan Kent has played better competition than some like Ryan Kent has played better competition than Paul Rothrock has, than Georgie Manungu has. Like he's seen better players, and he's had better football in him. So I'm like, okay, let him run with it. Uh, I don't know what it is. It's a great point because I mean, he's with some of the defenders he's going against, he should have more skill.
Oh, he
Um,
should easily get past some of these
yeah,
MLS outside backs. Like,
So it's a great question. What the hell? Like, what is happening? Does Andy Rose need to sit him down and say, hey, I didn't do all this like convincing for you to come here and for you to sit on the fucking bench and look
mhm.
cool, like warming up as a substitute in the penny. Like, I don't know. It is interesting. I guess it's a nice problem to have, we talk about guys like, excuse me, Kent, Manungu, Rothrock, on the bench trying to figure things out. Um, it's a good I'd rather have this than, not knowing what we're doing.
Having no depth. Yeah,
Yeah, going back to a bear time.
miss him.
Do you?
No, I don't.
um, yeah, Mike. Do you have a strong knowledge of any of these teams that the club's going to be facing? I mean, I know we've seen Cruz Azul earlier this year. I know we've seen Santos Laguna a few times over the last few years with this tournament. Kind of cool to see Tijuana on the sheet. I think we saw them last year. I just
We did,
remember.
yeah. They
Okay.
were okay. My
But
wife's
yeah, I don't
family's
know.
from Tijuana, so that's fun. That's the extent
Hey,
of
there
my
you go.
knowledge there.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know anything about these clubs to
Honestly,
worry about?
not enough. I know about Cruz Azul because we've seen them and they're getting stronger. I think they put in an offer for um Luka Jovic from AC
Oh,
Milan. I think he's interested in going there, or he's wants to come here or something like that. So they're just getting stronger and stronger by like the minute, it feels like. I mean, they have Mateusz Bogusz, they have Sapadula, who's going to be good, obviously. Luca Romero, super fun to watch. Like their entire their attacking line, their attacking three
mm,
is terrifying,
Jesus.
and it should be a good game. It's gonna be fun, but I guess we'll just kind of wait and see what they bring out if they take this tournament as seriously as I guess the other Liga MX teams are so far.
Yeah, it's always interesting. I know at least seeing the fans, which that's one thing is always seeing how angry the fans get, depending on what sort of strength lineup the club puts out for the different competitions, right? Like no matter what, you will see some guy immediately once the lineup is posted being like, "Lol, like it's a punt game." um, so we'll see. So yeah, this should get out on the afternoon slash night of the 30th. Um, even if not, even if you're tuning into this the morning slash day of the 31st, the Cruz Azul match is until 7:30.
7:40.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch those advertisements.
Oh,
Uh
there is one thing I do want to say about the Leagues Cup that the worst thing the Sounders can do is do really well in the group, not rotate, and get fourth place. Because only the top three get CCC berths. So if you get a fourth place in the Leagues Cup, you're
oh
playing essentially for nothing, just to tire yourself out.
wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
So
that is a
either you
good point.
go all out or you do some rotation, do some experimenting.
So to put it somewhat bluntly, you have to give a shit.
Basically, yeah. This first game, you give a shit. If you don't, might as well just play the kids.
Which would be kind of fun.
Would be kind of
Um,
nice.
right. Well, till we see you next week, we'll see if we can get Owen back from the clutches of ducks. Who knows?
Fine.
I know it is spring camp. No, spring. What am I on? Fall camp season. So, I was. That's where I was yesterday before I got home and took a nappy and left poor Mike in the dust waiting there, like me waiting for my uncle to show up. Um. So yeah, God damn it. Um. Sorry, it's also MLB trade deadline season, so I'm trying to get the new version of TweetDeck up, but I forgot my password. So Twitter's like, "Ah," but also Twitter's shit now. So anyway, yeah, man. Till we see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Give a shit about Leagues Cup, apparently. Do whatever you can to make today a great day.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey. So where are you going to watch all of the Sounder away games this year?
Away games for the Sounders. Well, since Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, I was thinking of coming here if that's okay with you.
I think that's a great idea. Go Sounders. Hope we see you all here.